Well, hello, friends, and welcome to another Sunny Day Devo. It's time to take a few minutes and savor the silver lining. Personal note, got a major cold happening here, so if I cough and hack through this, please forgive me. Here we go, page 1, A Time for Rhyme. I wrote this poem several years ago. I wrote it for my oldest son, Bryson. It's entitled, Be There, the Most Important New Year's Resolution. So when your lifetime is complete, and when the angels you do meet, there's nothing else 'twould please me more than see your face on heaven's shore. Your top priority must be to stand with me beside the sea, to see the Savior's flag unfurled. Oh, please don't miss it for the world. If in this life you must reject wealth or fame, the world's respect, if reputation you must lose, and humble circumstance you choose, if all your property you give, and in a hut you have to live, you suffer much to reach the lost, and into prison you're tossed. If you die in a foreign land with no one there to hold your hand, if you must face death all alone, yet into heaven you are flown, on angels' wings you come to me, as I stand beside the sea, then all the sacrifice you made, the tears, the hurt, the scars, they'll fade. The losses will be worth it all, as you and I hear Jesus call. He will approach and hug us there. We'll bask in light, his glory share. So when your lifetime is complete, and when the angels you do meet, just one request I wish to share. I only ask one thing, be there. Most of you know that I end a lot of my broadcasts with that, be there, Matthew 16:26. Well, that all started off with Bryson, and that was the poem that I wrote for him years ago. Today's passage comes from Joshua 24, verse 15. It reads as follows from the New King James Version. Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. I got 5 applications from that little verse. 5 phrases that I think are very important, and I hope that they'll help you as you get your day started today. The first phrase is choose for yourselves, Joshua says. Your future is your choice. You need to remember that. While predestination is a very biblical teaching, understanding it within the parameters of free will is essential. Grace is not irresistible, and election is not unconditional. Read Acts chapter 17, verses 26 through 27. Second phrase is, he says, choose for yourselves this day. Resolutions require accountability. Force yourself to set time restraints. Time restraints upon your decisions, then launch into them with all of your heart. This day, he says. The next is served, speaking of the gods, served and will serve. In order for positive change to occur, resolutions must be forward-looking, not backward-looking. Never deny your past, but only use it to propel you into the future. Number 4, he says, but as for me and my house. We need to remember that no man is an island unto himself. God designed us to be social creatures. Be sure to embrace positive resolutions that will entice others to journey in the same direction that you're going. And then lastly, the final phrase that I draw out of Joshua 24 and verse 15 is this, we will serve the Lord. The world has many allurements that conflict with the priorities of heaven. Be sure to focus on the Master. Keep your eyes on the skies. No other human goal or resolution is more important than seeking the favor of God. However, maintaining a consistent resolve and determination in this area can often be just as challenging as the struggle to lose weight or break a bad habit. Be like Joshua. Make the choice and declare make a choice and declare that choice to others so that they can hold you accountable. Be there. All right, page 2. Second thing we'll do in our times together is we're going to take some readings from a book that I am writing entitled A Wonderful Thing Happened on Our Way to Heaven. Most of you are aware that I wrote a book years ago entitled A Funny Thing Happened on Our Way to Heaven. Well, these readings will not be so much funny. There'll probably be some funny things in them, but they'll just be heartwarming. And of course, that's what this is all about. Sunny Day Devos, trying to get your day started off right. This one's entitled The Treehouse, and it was written back in August of 2009. The boys were small, as you'll pick up on. During a recent stay with my folks, Grandpa thrilled the hearts of his 2 youngest grandchildren when he announced, "I think today we will build a treehouse." I wish you could have seen the excitement. You would have thought that he just announced free candy for a lifetime. Immediately the dreams began to fly. It wasn't long until we were making a visit to the lumber store. Then on the way home, we stopped by a neighbor's shed for additional supplies. Yes, we did ask permission first. Lastly, we hurried out into the backyard to size up the tree. Holes were dug for supporting posts. Boards were cut to brace the floor. Measurements were taken to build a ladder. Ropes were knotted for climbing the sides. Screws were screwed. Bolts were bolted. And screams were screamed as the structure neared completion. By evening, the clubhouse, fort, treehouse, well, it was in full use. Grandma even joined the mayhem by climbing the steps and dangling her feet off the edge while telling a story about frontiersmen discovering America. As she weaved her tale, the youngest grandsons danced around her, ascending and descending the platform while acting out the tale. A very weary me and an exhausted Grandpa watched from the porch while imaginations came to life. Life lesson. As a child, were you ever validated by a special adult that was willing to lower themselves to your level and enter your world of youthful aspirations? Do you serve a God like that? Is he willing to stoop to your level and involve himself in your youthful dreams? Do your children think of him in that way? Don't ever let religion replace relationship. Don't ever let tradition and ceremony fool you into thinking that God cannot or will not stoop in order to relate to where you are. The purpose of the human experience is to bring us up to him and bring him down to us. Revelation 21:3. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God." The boys and I often talk about heaven, and we love to dream about what it will be like to finally get home and be in the presence of God. I encourage them to let their youthful imaginations just run wild. Gabriel wants to fly with the angels, and I suspect Bryson wants to be the lead singer for God's rock band. Of course, harps only. See Revelation 15:2-4. Smiley face. We talk about the size of heaven's roller coasters, the unlimited supply of cotton candy, and what it will be like to swim with Jesus in the river of life. Yes, I know all of these dreams reflect a very youthful, immature heart. But isn't that the point? He is the Father and we are the children. I suspect that much of the heavenly experience will involve bringing us up to his level, but don't you think he will also find much pleasure in occasionally joining us at ours as well? There is something very special about a grandpa who is willing to enter the youthful world of his grandsons and build a clubhouse in the tree out back. But do you honestly think that Grandpa Childs can outdo God? Really? Stop being so serious. Enjoy every moment of your immaturity. The tree of life is big enough for us all. Which limb do you want? And that brings us to page 3, the wrap-up. I need you to remember that the quality of your day is directly connected to the depth of your relationship with the Lord. Let me give you some hints. Listen more deeply than human opinion. Hear the gospel of God, not men. Romans 10, verse 17. Commit your heart. Believe in the power of the resurrection. Romans 10, verse 9. Adjust your life's direction. Repent of sins. Romans 2, verse 4. Express your surrender to Jesus' authority. Confess him as your Lord. Romans 10:10. And submit to a spiritual bath. Be baptized in order to receive the new life. Romans 6, verses 3-4. Do you enjoy the Sunny Day Devos? Would you like to support this effort? If you're interested in supporting our family ministry, be sure to send your email address along with your next contribution so that we can stay in connection with you. Contributions can be made online at sunnychilds.com, or they can be mailed to Sunny Childs and Family Ministries, P.O. Box 682, Paragould, Arkansas 72451. Until next time, remember, the most important question in life is this: what on earth are you doing for heaven's sake? Be there. Matthew 16:26.